Look at the video. What do you see? The person is washing his hands using soap. What is soap? How is soap made? Let us find out. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to describe the process of making soap. State that soap is a salt produced by the reaction between sodium hydroxide and fatty acids. Soap is a cleaning agent that is used to remove dirt. We use soap because washing with water alone is not enough to remove the dirt. How is soap produced? Soap is produced by the reaction of fat or oil with an alkali. The plant oils or animal fats, for example, palm oil or beef fat, is used to make soap. The alkali can be either sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. Let us find out the chemical process of making soap. Each molecule of fat consists of a combination of 3 fatty acids and glycerol. The fatty acid in the fat molecule will react with sodium hydroxide to form the sodium salt of fatty acid. The sodium salt of fatty acid is called soap. The alkaline hydrolysis of fat or oil to form soap is called saponification. Sodium chloride is added to make the sodium salt of fatty acid partially insoluble in water and form precipitate. The precipitate is soap. Let us make soap. You are given these apparatus: a 250 milliliter beaker, measuring cylinders, a test tube, filter funnel, stirrer, wash bottle, spatula, wire gauze, tripod stand, filter paper, and a Bunsen burner. You are given these materials: palm oil, 5 molar sodium hydroxide, sodium chloride, and distilled water. Click play to see how the activity is carried out. Follow this procedure. Pour 10 milliliters of palm oil into a 250 milliliter beaker. Measure 50 milliliters of concentrated sodium hydroxide 5m. Handle it with care. Concentrated sodium hydroxide, Li, is corrosive and can cause burns to the skin, destruction of clothing, and irreversible damage to the cornea. Pour the sodium hydroxide into the beaker which contains the palm oil. Stir the mixture constantly. Boil and stir the mixture for 15 minutes. Measure 50 milliliters of distilled water. Pour the distilled water into a beaker. Dissolve 3 spatulas of sodium chloride, salt, in the distilled water. Pour the sodium chloride into the boiled mixture. Stir the solution and leave it to cool. Filter the solution. Rinse the precipitate with distilled water. Leave the precipitate to dry on the piece of filter paper. Add a spatula of precipitate into a test tube. Pour distilled water into the test tube. Shake the test tube. Observe the solution in the test tube. Feel the precipitate with your fingers. Record your observations in your practical book. Make conclusions based on your observations. Click Check Answer when you have finished. Bubbles are formed. The precipitate is smooth. Therefore, soap is formed by boiling palm oil and sodium hydroxide. Rearrange the statements into the correct. Soap is a cleaning agent that is used to remove dirt. Soap is produced by the reaction of fat or oil with an alkali. The sodium salt of fatty acid is called soap. The alkaline hydrolysis of fat or oil to form soap is called saponification. Sodium chloride is added to make the sodium salt of fatty acid partially insoluble in water and form precipitate. The precipitate is soap. Why are detergents used for washing clothes? What is the chemical constituent present in detergent? Compare soaps and detergents. Use books, journals and the Internet for your reference. Prepare a report. Present your findings to the class.